Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lax rats alike, welcome back to another episode of the Crease Dive. Today is Thursday, July 6th. Hope everyone had themselves a hell of a weekend for the 4th of July. Hope everyone in America is enjoying being world champs for the second tournament in a row after Brennan O'Neill dropped his sack all over the entire nation of Canada in the World Championship gold medal game. I'm Jordie from Barstool. With us, as always, we've got Doogs in the lab. Doogs, last week we had 5 worthy candidates coming on to interview for our summer intern spot. I'll tell you what, the Nestle crew is out and about right now, so it's not particularly a close race, but we do have a few more other candidates who'll be popping in and out throughout today's show. So, Dukes, how we feeling? How's the weekend?
Long weekend. This 4th of July kicked my ass. The Tuesday 4th of July is dangerous. Feels like, and I have off this week, but there is something to be said that it was crazy that yesterday was the 4th of July. I feel like the 4th of July was a week ago.
Dude, the Tuesday 4th of July is really hard because everyone's gonna fuck off the Friday before, regardless, right? Because you're heading into 4th of July weekend. So that Friday before is basically just like a half day anyway. So everyone's gonna go a little bit. Everyone's gonna get after it a bit on Thursday night because they're getting ready to head into the weekend. Then Friday rolls around, you dick around at work if you have to go at work. Maybe you call out of work, whatever it is. You get after it Friday to start 4th of July weekend. Saturday and Sunday are just you're playing with house money. Monday rolls around and you're like, damn, like this has been a long ass time, but tomorrow's still the 4th. We can get, and then 4th of July rolls around and then it's pedal to the metal. So that's like 5 straight days of just all gas. So it's definitely a tough one. Yeah, I'd say that Tuesday is probably the most dangerous day for a 4th to be.
It has to be. It has to be. Because even like when you throw in like the Wednesday, I feel like you could get a couple days, like maybe a day break. Like, oh, we could take a break on like Monday or something. But no,
and
Tuesday.
also like it's harder to really fuck off that previous Friday if the 4th isn't until
Right.
a little bit late. Like you kind of have to take that Friday before serious. Like you go like full day and then you head to wherever you're going that night. The fact that it's on a Tuesday, it like kind of still blends into the weekend, so you can say that Friday starts it.
Yeah, and but now we're back, and then like PLL starting back up this week. So I don't know. Thinking out loud with you with the candidates, what like you guys can expect this episode. I think that you probably have to say what's better to interview last week or this week. So this week I was thinking of giving these candidates something different, different challenges, and that'll be probably just previewing the PLL, seeing how they can do with that, and recapping the World Games. I don't know if you were thinking anything different. Some
No, I mean,
questions here and
yeah,
there.
that's cool for me. I think I'll tell you what, it's going to be a really we might get into a little bit of a preview for the PLL this weekend, but I think that this is like this coming weekend in the PLL is just whoever shows up. And obviously that's kind of what it is every week, but like the fact that you had so many guys in San Diego the past couple weeks playing in the World Championship. So either
Banged
one,
up.
they're banged up. 2, they're just tired from playing so much lacrosse. Or 3, maybe they're on Team USA and they just won a World Championship and they've been celebrating that hard and rolling that right into, all these guys are definitely going out for the 4th of July, getting
Right.
after it a bit. So, and then, you had a couple weeks break of the season. Some guys either playing a lot of lacrosse, some guys playing very little lacrosse. All of them heading back into to Minnesota this coming weekend. So, I mean, we'll see what guys look like. We'll see what teams look like. I think that this is obviously we're in the business of, hey, you should probably put some bets in and please gamble responsibly on the Barstool Sportsbook app. But it realistically probably it's going to be a dicey weekend with however you're financially invested in these games.
Yeah, I do think that this is going to be the biggest like crapshoot. In the sense, I nailed it. Just people are like people rusty. How much is it rust versus rust? Like, or is a team that started off hot this year going to have Russ
I mean,
now
we
starting to
saw
play?
Josh Byrne looking pretty hobbled throughout the World
Right.
Championship tournament. Like there are going to be guys like that are hobbled, and then there are going to be guys that are a little hobbled because maybe they had a fun little past 5 days.
Yeah. I also think that we've alluded to this in the beginning of the season when we talked about who will be the worst team in the PLL, and I said that it's going to come after World Champs, who's the team that has the least amount of injuries. Like that will be it's always a factor on who's the best, is usually the healthiest, and who stays out of the most trouble on the IR. But yeah, just so people know, we are waiting for our first interviewer, E, and his time just passed, so blacklisted.
I'll tell you what, it's a tough look. It's a real tough look, especially when you got the Nestle crew just going as hard as they've been going over the past week or so. You can't really afford to be missing time slots.
I actually want to shout out Nestle Crew because I was at
Is
the
it Nestle
columns.
or Nestler?
Nestler
Nestle,
Hive,
yeah,
Nestler Crew. I kind of like Nestle Crew though. I
yeah.
thought that flowed off the tongue. But I had people at the bar going like this, like hire Nestler. People were out and about. I mean, the recruiting didn't stop.
Nah, I mean, unfortunately, the recruiting's probably going to stop for Cabrini, but
That's a
definitely not
fact.
for the Nestler crew. I thought, I thought he did a great job. His boys and everyone very active on Twitter. But just a reminder, it's a long game, right? We'll probably figure it out maybe by the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
Potential, yeah. So we'll figure it out by the end of this weekend. But listen, there's still time left on the clock. So if you're looking to get your vote in for anybody else, if anyone else impressed you, make sure that you are voting on Twitter. Tag us either at the Crease Dive or Doogs or Jordie Barstool, and make sure that you hit us up with just any sort of confirmation that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get those numbers up. Any updates on who was our candidate who was doing the TikTok challenge?
Connor Eck. He did not get to the goal, but he has been doing some good on there. So we'll see, even if he doesn't get hired, if we can collaborate with him in some effort.
Okay. I'll tell you what, actually, while we're waiting for this guy to come in,
We're here. The second one's here right now.
Oh, all right. There we go. Jumping him.
All right, here.
This is a great sign.
How we
What's
doing?
up?
Sean Fox, what's up, brother?
Not much, doing well.
Great to hear, man. Are you in a library or something like that?
No, actually, my room here.
Okay. Just a little quiet at first. I was just trying to figure out if we're trying to keep the noise down, and we would just follow suit for you.
No
all
worries.
right. So, Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Yeah. So from Connecticut, 20 years old, played lacrosse pretty much my whole life. I mean, dad played 3 of my uncles, so it's been something that we've done for a while. Started playing club, it was like 3rd or 4th grade, played all the way through high school. Went off to Cornell, play up there, and was there for a year or so. And it wasn't, I guess, necessarily like best for me or like what I really wanted to do once I got there. Both like playing at that level and going to school. So now just a going student at NYU, but love the game, always been around it, pretty much all levels. And originally reached out to Doogs about this just because I wanted, just wanted some way to take more what I'm doing now with my life and incorporate that back a little bit more into lacrosse.
So I guess my first question would be, would you ban the face-off?
It's a good question. I would not ban the face-off. Might be an unpopular take. I'm an LSM, so I love the face-off. Always been perhaps one of the more like involved parts of the game for me. When the ball comes out, I think there could potentially be a timer on the face-off. I think if you get a guy that's locked up, and you're spinning for 30 seconds, maybe more, then that's something to consider. But I think the majority of face-offs you're not seeing go that far. You're not seeing them totally, lag out the game and then start. I think they're usually pretty quick, usually pretty physical part of the game. And I think that it's actually so important at some parts of the game. You watched in the World Games, without the shot clock, like every face off in the fourth quarter was, potentially game changing. And I think that that's actually an awesome part about it.
Tell you what, Sean Foxy does bring up a good point there. Something that I haven't really thought about too much. When we talk about banning the face-off, we're really talking about like just scumbag fogos who aren't actually lacrosse players, can't throw or catch to save their lives. But we are, if we took away the face-off, and Jerry Raganese, I know you're listening right now, but if we took away the face-off, we are taking away jobs from good, hardworking, gritty wing players. Guys who might not get a chance to get on the field if it weren't for their wing play, just being able to get after a ground ball, right? If there's no face off, they're not they're not rolling out with the first or second line mids, but you're like, hey, I need a dog who can go get this ground ball, get us some possessions. You go on. Now all of a sudden, like you can kind of pretend like you don't hear your coach calling you off to sub through the midline, like you're on the field, and that's your time to shine. So I do like wing players a lot. I have a nice little hatred for face-off guys, but I do like wing players, and that puts me in a bit of a predicament. So Sean Fox, good point to bring up there. That gives you definitely one more point than our last candidate.
Yes,
Thank you.
for sure. Also, I guess I would ask, when you said you wanted to get into this field, what does this field entail? Like, what is it like? What do you want to do? What could you do for the podcast?
What would I do for the podcast?
Or like, what could you do? Yeah.
Like social clips or whatever. Like,
yeah, in the field, I guess I just think of the general sports media, perhaps. So I guess that would entail, podcast, YouTube, social, all things like that around content. And in terms of like podcast here specifically, I can, I guess I would offer anything in the editing space. I mean, that's something that I've, done more for my own use, whether that's like actual like content YouTube stuff, or, making like the highlight reel at the end of the season. And then outside of that, it's just mostly social is what I've feel like I can say I'm like actually, good at and understand, whether that's, design or just like how to run, an Instagram page in term for like growth, in that nature, posts and so on, as well as, if you're advertising or marketing in any way, that as well as, I guess, just the general lacrosse side of it, that's not necessarily something I'm doing for the podcast, but just having an intern that's, at least, understanding the game, and can add, perhaps anything that might be needed in that nature, as well as, potentially a podcast guest or two.
so all right, so let's all right. We definitely need a guy who can at least run the Instagram page, because I feel like Doogs, you and I, we both hate actually doing it. And that's what we need. So that's good that you're good on that. But if we're talking about lacrosse knowledge, so let's just throw something your way real quick. So we've got 4 games coming up this weekend on the PLL. We'll give you so we're probably going to end up asking each candidate to preview a game. You're the first one up here that's actually showed up to your interview. So you get first take on what matchup that you would like to talk about. We'll give you maybe 2.5 minutes to preview a game. So we've got Water Dogs and Chrome, we've got Cannons versus Atlas, Redwoods Chaos, and Whips versus Archers. So you have pick your poison right there, what game you like and why you like it.
That's tough. I'm gonna go Woods Chaos. Reason behind it, always been a big Notre Dame fan growing up. Our family was, most sports. So always been a team that I've liked, the guys on that roster. And then over on the Chaos, I grew up getting coached by Andy Towers. So I've known him a long time, all the sides that he shows on camera, as well as, maybe more of the other ones. Defensive coordinator, Jamie Hanford, the director of the club that I played in, growing up in the summer. So another guy that I know. And they got a good squad over there. I like the defense that they play. Obviously it helps to have Blaze in goal. And I think that's always been a good matchup each year. And I think that out of the games, that sounded like the most perhaps appealing one to have, one of those 1-goal finishes that we've seen, pretty often this year.
All right. Good.
Solid. Yeah.
Good enough for me. One more question. Just what does anyone know Connecticut ball better than Dan Arestia?
I don't think so. I mean, he's on top of it with his tweets. I don't think there's anyone more committed to getting out the high school ball news out of Connecticut than him, with the updates at halftime and the accountability. When he leaves a game early, it's a blowout, comes back, gets close, team loses in overtime. He takes ownership over that as well. So no, I think he's got it covered on all sides.
Solid.
Awesome.
And also,
yeah. Go ahead,
if you just
Doogs.
want to vote for Sean, just remember, tweet at us that you're subscribed with his name, and that'll count as a vote. So thanks, Sean.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it, Sean. Yeah, get your boys out to vote. And again, you guys have to be subscribed to vote for us. No, can't just be loading up on. Well, actually, you can load up on fake account. If you make fake accounts, but those fake accounts are all subscribed to our YouTube channel, then that also counts as a vote. So if you guys want to all make 10 to 20 different accounts, and you can vote 10, 20 different times, we don't really give a shit about that. We just want the YouTube subscribers. So Sean, get all your boys to subscribe.
Will do.
And vote. All right. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think that's something that we got to make clear. Like, we don't really care. Like, if you're one person, but you have 10 different accounts, those still count as subscription numbers, right? Or I don't know if like Zuckerberg or whoever's running YouTube's doing dumbass shit.
You just can't do a screenshot of a tweet that I've already seen. Somebody else's screenshot.
Oh, so someone's trying to steal someone else's vote? They're
exactly.
They're just wow. I mean that is just such a low character move, right? It takes what about all right, you figure you have to go into your phone and open up the YouTube app and then type in the Crease Dive. All that probably takes about 16 seconds. Mm-hmm. Then you just hit subscribe for free. And probably takes just as long to just save someone else's image of them subscribing to the YouTube channel and then passing it off as your own. That's a low character move. Whoever that was should be ashamed. Makes me sick.
It would be a shame if it's part of the Nestler hive.
I think that all right. Well, if that's the case, we are going to have to do a little bit of investigating.
I'm on the investigating. I'm investigating hard.
Wow. All right. Little breaking news. Nestler hive hitting getting a bit of a maybe a little too big. Are they a little too big for their britches?
You can't.
Is that the word on the street? Is that Nestler hive a little too big for their britches right now?
Yeah. You can't control all of them. You can't control the beast. It's like the Rico Riders. Here's our next interviewee, Ray DeLoca. I hope I pronounced that right. How's it going, man?
How we doing, gentlemen?
Ray, I'll be honest, did not expect you to look that way when I heard Doogs say your name. So right off the bat, it's shocking, and that leaves an impression. I think that's the biggest key in any interview is leaving an impression. So Ray, congrats on winning the first battle there.
Win. I'll take it.
All right, so Ray, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself? Maybe quick little 60-second rundown of who you are, what you're about, and maybe even mix in what you could help out with the podcast with.
All right. So I feel like I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here. A lot of these guys are like D1, D3 players. I haven't played since my junior year of high school, actually, because my senior year got screwed over by COVID. Wasn't the most talented player, didn't get to move on in college, but I enjoy watching lacrosse. I always enjoyed playing it, even if I wasn't that good. I love the lacrosse content that you guys are putting out. I think it's great stuff, and I want to be a part of it.
Awesome.
So-
Well, yeah, I mean, lucky for you, we're not putting together a team. So if you're not good at lacrosse, that's not
Sounds
really
good.
what
Sounds
we're what we're looking for anyway. So
Yeah, no, that's usually like the worse you're at lacrosse, the better you are as a candidate.
Awesome. Awesome.
We want.
Bodes well for me.
So, like, what do you think you could do for the podcast to help us out?
So my expertise, I'm a film major, so I do a lot of video editing and stuff like that. So I'm helping out with clips. I've edited podcasts before. I'm sure you guys already have that on lock. But I've managed a lot of different social media pages and things like that. So I feel like I could help take you guys to the next level as far as content. Not that you've been lacking, but I think all the stuff that does the best for you guys is like, the goalie challenges, any type of videos that you do on YouTube outside of the pod. Those always do really well. So I think expanding on those would be really good. I think like you always do, the PLL recaps and stuff on like pod episodes. But I think if you did like vlogging the weekend at the PLL, that would be huge. Allow like, people love behind the scenes stuff, getting to know you guys more personally outside of the pod. I think that would be huge. That's my expertise. So helping to make videos like that, coming up with ideas, things like that. I think that's where I could really shine.
right.
Damn,
I would love. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
Yeah. I would love the idea of vlogging a whole lot more if it wasn't called vlogging.
Yeah.
There's something about just
There's something
and,
to it.
and like no offense, RJ, you're awesome. But like just like I'm the word like makes me really just want to run my head through a wall. So yeah, if we can, all right. So Ray, if you can find out a better word for vlogging, we'd be very much into it. Yeah, I mean, I think Doogs. I think that the goalie challenges are a good little spot, and I think we with the right guy behind the editing, we could make you look even better,
Exactly.
and more menacing to some of these guys who are already a lot of people, a lot of men and women, not mentioning any names, not like Charlotte North is listening to this right now, but have been dodging Doogs, and I think I don't know, maybe if it was a better produced product,
Right.
then maybe they want to be a part of it. So that's right.
Yeah, play it up a bit,
good
do a lot of promo, make some flyers, maybe put it behind a paywall, get some money off of it. The possibilities are endless.
Good pitch. Is there anything that you see on our socials that you would think we're lacking in and that could enhance our pages?
So obviously the easiest form of content for you guys is clips from the pod. Those are good, but I think, like maybe like some editing or some deconstructing of it, maybe for a wider audience, I think could be good. There's always just a funny clip, but if you edit something or maybe add a little commentary on it, make it a little more interactive, ask for opinions, stuff like that. I think that could be cool. But like I said, with vlog stuff and, or if we find a new name for that, the more content you make, the more clips you can get. And I think it would make for a more diverse social media feed. So it's not just a bunch of pod clips and Instagram. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
No, I mean, this is a good, right? Good conversation.
This guy sucks at lacrosse, but he's really good at pitching.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. To carry me. Exactly.
That's what we need.
We were gonna do also. Do you watch the game like PLL all the time, or not really? Just out of the
regularly. I don't catch it every single time. I usually have to borrow someone's ESPN Plus account to do that. But I try to. I've been to a game before. I'm a loyal Redwoods fan. And it's like I said, it's fun to watch. But I don't watch every single game every weekend.
We can do something then, like if you. So we obviously need. So you could make a clip from this episode or even from this interview if you want, and show us like how, and we'll post it on our pages and show us like how how, like what your ideas are for like either a social clip or even like one of the editing clips that you were referring to like spice it up. You can use any video that we've put out, just do a clip and process or whatever. I think that'd be cool.
I do have, and so that's a good challenge. So I think that's going to work out pretty well. I do have just one random question. This is going to help me get a little bit of a better gauge of what you're thinking and where you're at. But so all the been just a massive influx of lacrosse highlights all over social. A lot of them very like just over the top edited. I just need to know where you stand on like taking a sick play in lacrosse and adding like weird like lights around
so I mean, I love what the PLL does with the sideline cameras rather than just straight from the stream posting stuff. But once you get like the sound effects and the bright lights and everything, I think it gets a little overwhelming. I don't mind a little slow-mo and a little quick editing to the beat with a like a future song in the background or something. But beyond that, I think it gets a little excessive.
I need to know what video you saw with the future in the background because that was oddly specific. I need to know what goal that was.
I just saw something with Wicked, and it was really cool. And it wasn't like like East Coast guys like ECD. They do a lot of cool edits and stuff like that. I'd say that's where I get a lot of my content from. But I think cool edits like that aren't too over the top. Glad you noticed that too. There's a little too much there.
All right. Well, I have nothing else.
Yeah, that was good work, Ray.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Just good job.
So and then so everyone who's listening right now, so if you came into the episode and you're just here to listen to Ray, we'll say it for every candidate, but make sure you guys can all get your votes in on who you think should get the internship. And in order to vote, you need to tag us on Twitter. So whether it's the Crease Dive or Doogs or Jordie Barstool, probably way easier to just do the Crease Dive. And then you also have to send in a confirmation that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel in order for your vote to count. So Ray, if you got to get your crew together and load up those votes, just make sure that everyone's subscribed. They let us know, and we'll be in contact.
Sounds good. Just as a farewell, just to stir up some votes to all the JV guys out there watching. You're looking for someone to vote for. I'm your man. All the gingers out there looking for more ginger representation in the media. I'm your man. I'm there. Like I said, film major, not a lot of options for me. I'm a film and political science major. So if the media thing doesn't work out, I have to go to law school, and I don't want to do that. So please vote for me. I think this would be a huge opportunity. And thank you guys for your time.
All right, Ray. Have a great day, buddy.
You too.
I like that cat.
Yeah.
I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, he was good. All right. We got a next interviewer. John, how's it
going, boys?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
John, that's Kim or not Tim Kirchin. Any relation? Is that even the same last name, right? The
exact same last name. I have no relation, but funny story. I have actually met him once at an airport bar, and he didn't believe we had the same last name, so I had to show him my paper boarding pass. I got a picture of him when I was 13, but no relation at all.
Damn.
All right. Well, so we've been giving everybody, all the candidates, a challenge, and so I think that your challenge is you should have to get Tim Kirchin on the podcast, and then you get the internship.
I could do that. I connected with him a decent amount just because I told him when I was a kid I was a huge sports fan. I'm working in journalism now, so I told him I was can I send you my stuff? So I've been writing a lot, so I just email back and forth with him, call him sometime. So I can probably do that for you guys.
It's so casual.
All right. Well, John, buddy. So aside from running into guys with the same last name as you in airport bars, how about you just do everybody a quick favor here? Give us, like a 60, 70-second rundown of just who you are, what you're about, and what you think that you'd be able to bring to the pod.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a Manhasset and Chaminade guy, so the worst of both worlds for Doogs, unfortunately. But Nolan Garcia, you guys interviewed him last week. Good friend of mine, good guy. Grew up on Long Island, obviously, huge lacrosse guy. Played when I was a kid. didn't play in high school, but now I work as the manager at Georgetown. So shout out the Hoyas, all the guys out there, Coach Warren, all those guys. And so, like I talked about earlier, huge journalism person, like social media, design, all that stuff, writing. So I did a lot of content for Georgetown. And like you guys were talking about last week, like you guys don't really need help with connections and getting people on the podcast. Like as much as I could do that, like that's not really what I'm here for. I know like building a brand, especially with lacrosse, is like super popular these days, just being able to post highlights and like clips of podcasts and stuff like that. And I think just expanding the brand, especially on TikTok. I know you guys with like D3 Hero last week was telling them to expand your TikTok. But I think, yeah, just being able to expand and make graphics and stuff like that, I'd be a huge help with that kind of stuff.
That was a good elevator pitch. All right, so I guess I would ask, since you're a Georgetown guy, how much is the loss of Jack Rowlett going to hurt Georgetown next year?
I mean, me personally, I was sad to see him go. Obviously, I don't think anyone was happy to see him go. He's the GOAT. Shout out Coach Rowe. BU is definitely gonna be better off with him. We'll be all right, but definitely gonna miss him. He's a huge part of everything we did. Can't lie, yeah. But yeah, shout out Coach Rowe. Great guy.
Are we putting Kevin Warren? Is Kevin Warren on the hot seat? Yes or no?
I not at all.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No,
I say that Kevin. I say that.
Go.
Yeah. I say that Kevin Warren is on the hot seat all the time. The only coach,
no, I know,
the only coach that's top 5 in the country that's on the hot seat, purely based off of no Final Four. It's unfair.
He'll get there.
Yeah. Breakthrough year.
You will. Yeah, you will.
So all right, so. Yeah, shout out Coach Rowe and shout out Coach Warren. Probably pretty cool throne. Yeah, I'd still say. Luckily, I was able to walk back my Tambo on the hot seat take, but that was also an egregiously early rising temperature seat call on my behalf for Tambo. All right, so you clearly, you said that you watched or you played lacrosse growing up a little bit. Now you're manager at Georgetown. Any chance you followed the pro game at all over the summer?
Yeah, for sure. Especially now that the guys that I work with at Georgetown, we end up sending a lot of guys in for sure. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So just one thing
Big
that we've been doing
obviously.
Yeah, all right. So the first guy kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in there, taking the Redwoods Chaos game. But you can do the same thing. But what we're doing right now, just to kind of change some things up from last week's interview. Obviously, we've got PLL weekend coming up in Minnesota this weekend. We've got 4 games on the slate. I'll run through the matchups for you, and then we'll give you just 2 minutes to preview whichever one of these games you like the most and why you like it. So just in case you didn't know, we've got Water Dogs and Chrome. They get going on Saturday, and then later on Saturday, Cannons versus Atlas. The Sunday slate of games, Redwoods Chaos, and then wraps up with Whip Snakes and Archers. So whichever one of those games kind of stands out to you, let us know and what it is about it that you like.
Yeah. I would have to say, I mean, yeah, I know you guys said like the last guy or whatever, someone earlier talked about Redwoods Chaos, but yeah, I mean, for me personally, obviously, I mean, we got a bunch of Georgetown guys across a bunch of different teams, but the Chaos defense for sure, Blaze Reardon, Coach Rowe, obviously, Zach Geddes, shout out Jordie Nation, but I would definitely be looking at that game for sure. Chaos are pretty hot right now. Even though they made the playoffs last year, struggled a decent amount last year. I definitely would look out at that matchup for sure. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Good work on that, dude. Minikis has been
he's insane.
Dude, do we know like who's right now like running for Rookie of the Year? Are there
Tucker
any?
Dordovic.
Yeah, and I mean another
probably the favorite.
Program killer, right, Doogs?
Yeah, I called Tucker Dordovic a program killer.
Do you agree?
Do you have any response to that?
Tucker's a great guy. I don't know. I can't say he is one.
Yeah, program killer, but Rookie of the Year. No, but Tucker seems like a good guy. When you guys lost the first 3 games of the season, I tried saying that he killed Georgetown, which wasn't.
Bounce back.
Yeah, I think Tewaaraton finalist is a bounce back.
I'd say so.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to vote for John, show us that you're subscribed. Tweet at us his name, and that'll count for a vote. John, thanks for your time.
But again, if you get
Absolutely.
Tim Kirchin on the podcast, then the votes don't matter. Everyone can shove the votes up their ass. John has the job. So
Exactly.
either
That works for me, yeah.
either load up the votes for John on Twitter, or Tim Kirchin comes on the pod and then he gets it. So either or, both work for me. Both should work for you. John, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Subscribe to the
Thanks,
Crease
man.
Dive.
Good little plug at the end there. I like that.
It was, yeah. Remind people to subscribe. All right, this is our last interview of the interview search or the intern search of Zach Riley. What's going on, man? How are we?
doing? Saving the best for last. I appreciate it.
Zach,
Yeah.
big laundry guy.
Oh, I love Tide. Yeah, it's actually their racing team, but yeah, don't eat them though.
Yeah, that's a sick hat. Zach, how about you give us like an elevator pitch, minute or two, telling the people who you are, what you can do for the podcast, all that stuff.
Yes, I just graduated Ohio State. Go Buckeyes. I'm a videographer and photographer specializing in sports. Play lacrosse for pretty much my entire life from Dallas, Texas. So, I play with some real athletes down there. But yeah, I think I can help the podcast with, thumbnails, stuff like that, editing videos, getting some stuff out for social, just making sure that the content is coming out. It's good content and that it's crisp. It looks good on social media. 90% of social media is looks at this point. So making sure that it looks professional and well done is incredibly important for growing a brand.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely listen. I'm glad that everyone's kind of figured out exactly what we need here. Where it's where socials are. Again, we're just guys who like to throw takes around the interwebs. We're not exactly polished when it comes to editing these things. So listen, if everyone out there who's probably listening right now knows that our socials probably need a little bit of work, everyone who's coming in to be a candidate here kind of has the same idea where we need to up our social game. So listen, we hear you guys, and that's why we're doing this intern search, because we're gonna find the right guy. Zach, what makes you think that you'd be the guy to do it? So you spent some time doing all this at Ohio State. I'm assuming you've been able to put together a few years working in this little side of the game.
Yeah, I shot sports all year. So I shot every Ohio State athletics past year. So when they went to the Peach Bowl, I was at that. So when the kick missed, it hit me. So that was a fun little moment. But yeah, just like high pressure stuff. And then that kind of like working in those high pressure environments kind of made me figure out how to work quickly and work efficiently. So I've definitely performed in high pressure stuff, and that's something I'm ready to do.
Yeah, it's good. Wait, so the kick against Georgia hit you in the head?
No, not the head, the foot.
No matter where, if you ever have any interview you're ever in life, you have to bring that up.
Oh,
that is one of the coolest things. I mean, kind of. It sucks for you though.
I have a video of it. I was standing there, and if you watch it, you can see me. I'm taking the picture, and then I've been an Ohio State fan since I was born, so I'm watching the kick, and it starts to. You can see the second it misses, and then it's just slowly coming towards me, and it took everything in my body not to just punt the ball back onto the field. It was awful. It was the coolest, but worst moment of my life.
It says here that you're a high school state champ. So did you go to Garden City, or what high school did you go to?
I'm from Texas.
No,
okay.
Garden
I just saw a
City.
state champ. Yeah, so I just assumed it was Garden City.
I played real lacrosse in Texas. No, I rode the bench when I won. When it was my sophomore year when we won it. We beat Nakai Montgomery in the semis, so that was a pretty cool moment. But yeah, I know that. Where's Garden City? I don't even remember, but no, Dallas is real lacrosse right there.
So so what high school did you go to?
Dallas Jesuit.
Okay, I know Jesuit people. So that's a good story as well.
All right, so here's a challenge for you. So you're from Dallas. Charlotte North is from Dallas. Charlotte North has been famously ducking Doogs in the goalie challenge. So if you're able to work your Dallas connects to get her to agree to do a goalie challenge, to which you could then film, and maybe hopefully, I'll tell you what, you get hit with a kick in the Peach Bowl. You might, if you get hit with a Charlotte North shot while you're filming that goalie challenge, that could be an even better story. So I think that right there, you figure out a way, work those Texas lines, and get her to do a goalie challenge, and the job is yours.
I'm pretty confident. I mean, I'm pretty influential. But I thought you were out. I thought you were hurt.
I'm out. I have one ankle right now, but I still think that I could take her on with one ankle. Even if I can't step. Yeah, I mean,
4-time winner, you could take on one ankle.
I think that's only what's but okay. She's a four-time winner, but has she ever been a part of a top 100 lacrosse podcast?
That's so.
And then
true.
you tell me what's more impressive.
That's so true. I mean, she will be a part of the top 100 podcast, and
she will be. She'll be plastered on our YouTube. Yeah.
I think. I mean, one ankle we could just, like in Mighty Ducks when they just tie Goldberg to the net. So we'll just strap you up to the pipes. We'll put your stick in that top. What is she usually? She's usually top left corner, I feel like. So we'll just kind of tape your stick to that corner and hope that she gets a little too greedy and wants to keep hitting that spot. And then you rack up a couple saves. Makes editing is everything, right? So we, even if the ball goes in, we could edit it that it goes to your stick. So control the story, control the narrative, control the
exactly.
So
that's all I want.
Fix it in post. No, I mean, I feel like if you're on one ankle right now, that ankle's got to be incredibly strong. So, I mean, I'm sure your hopping game's pretty good right now.
Yeah, exactly. You got the right idea.
That's the most important part as a goalie. Foot saves are what make it on the top 10 list.
Facts. And then, so you deal with high stress situations in sports. What else? So YouTube wise. So you can make thumbnails and all that, and you can cut clips.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been using Photoshop for 4 years now. I'm switching my editing to DaVinci instead of Premiere, but yeah.
Okay, cool. I have nothing else. Jordie, do you have anything?
Nah, as soon as we start talking about editing softwares, I use iMovie and GarageBand. So once you say things that are beyond that, that's when I tap out of the conversation, and I just assume that know that they know more about what they're talking about than I do in that regard. So
you can't hate on GarageBand's a great app.
One of the best that there is. Tide who drives for Tide Racing?
I have no idea. I'm gonna be real honest. I got this at a thrift store.
I don't really give a shit. I just wanted to. I
didn't know they had a racing team. I didn't even know they had a racing team. But I mean, it's a good hat. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. What do we have? We got is that Robbins Racing? Our
NASCAR
Robbins
podcast? Racing.
All right. So quick little plug for them. So all right. Listen. If you guys want to vote, so I mean, get the whole entire damn state of Texas out to vote for Zach Riley. But in order to get your votes to count, you guys have to send us tag us in your vote on Twitter at the Crease Dive, and also with a photo or some sort of confirmation that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. So let's get those numbers up while we get the votes rolling in for Zach Riley. Zach, appreciate you coming on. And again, if you can get Charlotte North on, then we're really in business here. If not, just keep the clips coming along, and definitely something that we need. So we'll be in contact.
Thank you, man.
Hey, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the YouTube. See y'all.
Good man.
All right, so that is the intern interview. Those are them.
Your face lit up when he talked about how strong your one ankle must be.
Yeah, I mean, the guy knows the way to my heart. He fell in love.
Just butter up Doogs and you're in there.
Just talking about how strong my ankles are, not that I need to drink more milk.
Big milk guy?
No, I keep getting chirped in the comments that I have to drink more milk because my bones are weak.
You just never know these days. You get one day it's oat milk, one day it's oat
You're
milk
right.
gives you cancer and snaps your ankle, and then the next day it is what it is.
Yeah, it is new milk just gets invented. Like new kinds of milk gets invented every single year. There's milk, then there's soy milk, and then there was almond milk, and then now there's oat milk. There is a lot of milks
It's just it's a wild time out there, you know.
for the milk industry. Yeah,
Dude, milk industry is just they're running us through the coals right now. They're
just making up milk.
Dude, they're trolling at this point, right? They're just like, well, what can we get these fuckers to drink, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's crazy.
I bet it's all the same thing.
I would not doubt it at all. I think that we're just like all falling for it. With the big milk, big pharma, big milk.
All right. Well, there goes our milk sponsorship.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we do need. All right. So let's just kind of talk about that was our last interview.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, anyone who's listening right now. So obviously, yeah, we got a lot of people coming on here to say that they can help with social, they can help us in video editing. I'll tell you what we do. We need someone. Actually, one of the guys last week, but he's 40 years old, and I don't think he wants to do this for us. We need like a business guy who can get us some sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
Might not be able to find that with like a kid in college, but someone who can connect us with some companies who need a little bit of exposure in the lacrosse community. We're not looking for like $1 million. We're just looking for like 999,000. Yeah.
Not asking for $1 million, you're asking for 2.
Yeah,
but someone that can help with sponsorships. I mean, I feel like, you know, we have some good candidates. I think that there are some people today that definitely like impressed. And I think that it's become clear that we need to up our Instagram game or graphics. And yeah, we'll try to hire the right interns to take us there.
I mean, luckily with the salary that we're providing, we could just hire all of them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. we could just have more behind the scenes people than ever before.
All right. Is there anything else we gotta talk about before we? I mean, obviously, again, we've got 4 games coming up on the schedule this week. With Water Dogs, Chrome, Cannons, Atlas, Redwoods, Chaos, Whipsnakes, Archers. Most of those games all on ESPN Plus. They get going Saturday at 6 p.m. So we've got 2 games Saturday night. Then on ESPN2 on Sunday at 2 p.m. is the Redwoods Chaos game. So just make sure you guys get those games on. I never understand when the ratings numbers come out. Like it's always like a point whatever. No, and like I just don't know if that's like good or not. But yeah, I mean, just at least turn on ESPN2. Let's try to bump those ratings up for the league. Because what's good for the league is good for everybody. Rising tide, all that jazz, and then everything wraps up on Sunday afternoon at 4 with that last game. So, yeah, I'm probably expecting a little sloppy play, and that's going to lead to a lot of close games. So, if I had to give any sort of lock for the weekend, I'd say just expect a decent amount more of 1-goal games.
Yeah, I guess I'll just rapid fire go through my picks. We'll also put them out on social, but I got Water Dogs beating Whips, Archers beating Redwoods, Chrome beating Cannons, Chaos beating Atlas.
One more question before we wrap up. I just wanted to, if Brendan O'Neill were to be in the league today, would he be the MVP?
I mean, yeah, he'd have to be. Like he was just MVP of the world. The thing that surprised me, I mean, we didn't. I'm kind of wrapping up, but the last thing I'll say about Brendan O'Neill in the world, he just showed like the whole thing with Schellenberger was, well, you could put him anywhere on the field, up top, out of the box, attack. Brendan just was the best midfielder on the planet. I don't think there's a question. He's the number 1 pick right now. Just like, and that's coming from a Schellenberger guy. Like, I was very much like Schellenberger's versatility. You could put him on any single team. Brendan O'Neill just decided he could do the same thing. Like, he doesn't have to just play attack right away, even though he will because he's the best. But you know,
yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I love that big old sweep across the top of the box.
It's dangerous.
Like I kind of like that better than him dodging underneath on the wing. Although he did have one of those too, and he just ate a couple shots before dunking it. Yeah, he's a stud. USA, best lacrosse nation in the world. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And listen, while you're living in America, the best lacrosse country in the world, it's a free world. And because of that, you have the freedom of choice. So you should choose to be following us on Twitter and Instagram at the Crease Dive. On both, you should use your freedom of choice to subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on TikTok at Stool Crease Dive. And in the meantime, we'll be keeping it low to high until the day we die. We out.